Hurricane Beryl highlights dangers of rapid intensification. How does this happen? According to Brian Tang from The Conversation, Hurricane Beryl was the latest Atlantic storm to rapidly intensify, growing quickly from a tropical storm into the strongest June hurricane on record in the Atlantic. It hit the Grenadine Islands with 150-mile-per-hour winds and destructive storm surge July 1st, 2024, then continued to intensify into the basin's earliest Category 5 storm on record. The damage Beryl caused, particularly on Carriacou and Petite Martinique, was extensive. Grenada Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell told a news briefing, in half an hour, Curacao was flattened. Beryl's strength and rapid intensification were unusual for a storm so early in the season, and this year that is especially alarming as forecasters expect an exceptionally active Atlantic hurricane season. Rapidly intensifying storms can put coastal communities in great danger and leave lasting scars. In 2022, for example, Hurricane Ian devastated portions of Florida after it rapidly intensified. To this day, residents are still recovering from those effects. As Beryl continues crossing the Caribbean Sea on July 2nd, Jamaica and the Cayman Islands were under hurricane warnings. I research hurricanes, he says, including how they form and what causes them to intensify, and I'm part of an initiative sponsored by the U.S. Office of Naval Research to better understand rapid intensification. I also work with scientists at the National Atmospheric and Oceanic Administration to analyze data collected by reconnaissance aircraft that fly into hurricanes. Here's what we are learning. How did Hurricane Beryl intensify so quickly? Rapid intensification occurs when a hurricane's intensity increases by at least 35 miles an hour over a 24-hour period. Beryl far exceeded that threshold, jumping from tropical storm strength at 70 miles an hour to major hurricane strength at 130 miles an hour in only 24 hours. A key ingredient for rapid intensification is warm water. The ocean temperature must be greater than 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 27 Celsius, extending more than 150 feet below the surface. This reservoir of warm water provides the energy necessary to turbocharge a hurricane. Scientists measure this reservoir of energy as ocean heat content. The ocean heat content leading up to Beryl was already extraordinarily high compared with past years. Normally, ocean heat current content in the tropical Atlantic does not reach such high levels until early September, which is when hurricane season typically peaks in activity. Beryl is a storm more typical of the heart of hurricane season than of June, and its rapid intensification and strength have likely been driven by these unusually warm waters. In addition to the high ocean heat, research has now other environmental factors need to typically align for rapid intensification to occur. These include low vertical wind shear, where the winds steering the hurricane do not change much in strength or direction over the depth of the water of the storm. Strong wind shears make it difficult for a storm to stay organized and maintain its strength. And a moist atmosphere surrounding the storm, with heavy precipitation encircling the developing eye. My research has shown that when this combination of factors is present, a hurricane can more efficiently take advantage of energy it gathers from ocean to power its winds, versus having to fight off drier, cooler air being injected from around the storm. The process is called ventilation. Simultaneously, there is an increase in air being drawn inward towards the center, which quickly increases the strength of the vortex, similar to how a figure skater pulls her arms inward to gain speed. Rapid intensification is akin to a figure skater pulling in both arms quickly and close to the body. Has climate change affected the likelihood of rapid intensification? As oceans warm and ocean heat the content gets higher with climate change, it's reasonable to hypothesize that rapid intensification might be becoming more common. Evidence does suggest that rapid intensification of storms has become more common in the Atlantic. Additionally, the peak intensification rates of hurricanes have increased by average of 25 to 30% when comparing hurricane data between 1971 and 1990 and 2021 to 2020. And that has resulted in more rapid intensification events like Beryl. This increase in rapid intensification is due to those environmental factors: warm waters, low-level wind shear, and a moist atmosphere, aligning more frequently and giving hurricanes more opportunity to rapidly intensify. As good news for anyone living in a region prone to hurricanes, the good news is that hurricane prediction models are getting better at forecasting rapid intensification in advance, so they can give residents and emergency managers more of a heads up on potential threats. NOAA's newest hurricane model, the Hurricane Analysis and Forecast System, shows promise to further improve hurricane forecasts, and artificial intelligence could provide more tools to predict rapid intensification. And this is from The Conversation by Brian Tank, Associate Professor of Atmospheric Science, University at Albany State University of New York, on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.